Hello and welcome, future leaders of the hospitality world. My name is Alex, and I'll be your guide. In all my time working with some of the best hotels out there, I've seen one skill that really separates the good from the truly exceptional, and that's collaborative problem solving. It's like the unseen engine that drives that five-star service we all strive for. So let's dive in and see how you can master it.
This quote really just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's the fundamental truth of our industry. You might be the face of the hotel, yeah, the first person a guest sees. But your success? That's never a solo performance. It's all about being a key part of this intricate, highly skilled team where everyone is laser-focused on one single goal, making that guest experience absolutely unforgettable.
So, in this explainer, we're going to build your toolkit with the 6 pillars of collaboration. We'll start with the foundation of teamwork itself, then move to the communication keystone, the importance of mutual respect, and that tricky balance between consistency and flexibility. After that, we'll talk about building real operational cohesion, and finally, how to create a culture of shared success. If you can master these, you'll have a blueprint for your entire career.
Okay, let's jump in with our very first pillar, the foundation of teamwork. The most critical first step here is to stop seeing the hotel as just a bunch of separate departments. Instead, think of it as a single, interconnected ecosystem. Every single team's actions ripple out and affect everyone else, especially when a guest's happiness is on the line.
Think about it. A guest issue hardly ever involves just one person, right? A real solution might need the speed of housekeeping, the technical skill of maintenance, some coordination with food and beverage, the backup of security, and sometimes the final say for management. You might be the conductor, but you absolutely need the entire orchestra to play in harmony. So, this brings us to a really clear definition of what we're aiming for. Collaborative problem solving isn't just about, getting the job done. It's about using the collective strengths of your whole team to fix things efficiently, accurately, and, this is the most important part, gracefully. It's that grace that turns a potential problem into a memorable, positive story for the guest.
All right, let's move on to our second pillar. Now, if the hotel is an ecosystem, then you can think of communication as the nervous system that connects every single part of it. Without clear, effective communication, even the most talented team is going to stumble.
In a fast-paced hotel, great communication really boils down to 3 simple actions. First, be succinct. Just get to the point. Your colleagues are busy, so respect their time. Second, always provide context. Explaining the why behind a request makes a world of difference. And third, act promptly. Delay is the absolute enemy of great service. Get these 3 things down and you will become a communication powerhouse.
Now, this right here is a perfect example of the power of context. A request for a specific room setup, okay, that's just a task on a list. But when you share that it's for a guest with a particular medical need, whoa, that completely transforms the task into a mission of care. It builds empathy and it ensures that request gets the priority it absolutely deserves.
And that leads us perfectly into our third pillar, mutual respect. See, clear communication might open the door, but it's genuine respect that keeps that collaborative spirit alive and well. It is the foundation that everything else we're talking about is built on. Please never, ever forget this. The maintenance engineer? They're an expert on the building's bones. The housekeeping manager is an absolute pro in hygiene and getting rooms perfect. And you are an expert in guest relations. Respecting the specialized knowledge of your colleagues isn't just about being polite, it's essential for getting the best possible result, every single time.
And this just lays it out perfectly, the 2 paths a hotel can go down. On one side, you have a culture of support. It's built on respect, it boosts morale, and it leads to way fewer mistakes. On the other side, a culture of blame. That creates a toxic environment where problems get hidden, not solved, and in the end, it's the guest who pays the price. Your actions every day decide which culture wins out. Okay, pillar number 4 is all about a crucial balancing act, the one between consistency and flexibility. To be a great collaborator, you need consistent processes that your team can rely on day in and day out. But you also need to have a flexible attitude to deal with the real world. It sounds like a contradiction, I know, but mastering this balance is the secret to smooth coordination.
Let's break this down. Consistency, things like always recording detailed notes in the management system, that ensures nothing ever gets lost in translation. It's all about reliability. I once saw a shift handover note that just said, "Guest in 502 called." Seriously? That's useless. A great note says, Guest Mr. Chen in 502 called at 3 p.m., reported a slow drain in the shower. Maintenance dispatched ETA 20 minutes. See the difference? That's consistency. Then there's flexibility. That's about building goodwill. It's understanding that your colleagues are slammed and maybe cutting them a little slack. You really need both to be a great teammate.
Now, let's talk about getting ahead of the game. This is a proactive strategy that will totally elevate your team's collaborative skills. It's about moving beyond just reacting to problems and, instead, building this deep operational cohesion through the power of cross-training.
Seriously, when you spend a day with housekeeping or you shadow the maintenance team, you gain this incredible insight. It's not just about learning how to do another job, it's about building real empathy. You'll start communicating better because you actually understand their workflow, their pressures, their lingo. You'll even be able to anticipate their needs before they have to ask. Trust me, this is a massive career advantage.
And all of this brings us to our final and maybe most important pillar. This is the capstone. This is the idea that holds everything else we've discussed together. It's about reframing problem solving from being some tedious chore into a collective achievement.
I really want you to let this one sink in. When you and your colleagues from 3 different departments work together to turn a guest's complaint into a moment of pure delight, that's not just a problem you solved, that's a shared victory. It's a moment that builds real bonds and makes the entire team stronger.
When this becomes the culture, everything changes. Teamwork stops being something you have to do, and it becomes something you want to do. It feels more natural, it's actually enjoyable, and it is way, way more effective. This right here is the ultimate goal.
So as we wrap up, I'm going to leave you with this question. Because this isn't just theory, right? This is a practical blueprint for your career. I want you to really think about it. How will you, personally, apply these principles to turn those everyday challenges into shared victories? Because your career is going to be defined by the success you build with your team.